welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is the final video of a series of 4 videos showing the tool shed makeover. In the first video, I demonstrated the taking apart and moving the tool shed. In the second video, I demonstrated the reassembling the tool shed and fabricating the lower 16-inch walls on which the tool shed sat on. I also demonstrated the framing of the door. On the third video, I demonstrated the placement of the window and cutting out the thin metal wall to create a hole for the placement of that window. Now in this final video, I'm going to show you the finishing touches. We're going to caulk all the seams of the tool shed. I'm going to paint the door, and we're going to paint the tool shed and all the trim. So I took a caulk and I placed a caulking bead on all the seams, especially on where water will fall directly upon. And this is to deflect the water from going down in between the boards and filtering into the interior of the tool shed. So the panels, the actual tool shed itself, I just bought some rattle can paint from my local hardware store, and I painted the whole exterior of the shed. You've seen in the video 1 where I painted the roof of the shed. I painted it hunter green. Now the door, we're going to paint an antique red. This is going to stay consistent with the Pine Meadows Hobby Farm color scheme. I will trim the door casing in hunter green to match the roof and also to match the trim of the house and all the outbuildings here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. The lower walls that I fabricated were primarily a plywood sheeting that I cut into strips to, that I cut into 16-inch wide strips. This created the foundation on which the tool shed actually sat. Now I faced this plywood sheeting with some trim board that I had found leftovers in my wood pile. I painted this trim. It was already painted the color that the house was when I bought the house, so it already had a coat of paint on it. So I didn't have to put any primer coat on it. So I just took the same rattle can spray paint and painted this trim on the lower 16-inch wall portion of the tool shed. Now I painted over all of the caulking beads to match the paint of the rest of the shed, and touch-up paint here and there. Okay, the door is painted. Isn't it pretty? Pine Meadows Hobby Farm color antique red. The trim is a hunter green trim paint. This is actually leftover trim paint that I had left over from when I painted the trim of the house. So we managed to salvage that paint too, and we painted the trim here. And also the trim board was leftover pieces of trim board that I used when I applied to the trim along between the foundation and the T111 siding of the house. So I trimmed those boards up and put them on here to make a door casing, and doesn't that look nice? Now the caulking, we're going to go ahead and spray paint this. Well, that concludes the last and final video on the tool shed makeover. I am completed with this project. I want to thank you for staying with me through those 4 videos. And please look for some future videos coming out in the future. Projects I am working on right now that you may find interesting on this farm is I'm reinstalling my photovoltaic system. We had to disassemble it from Acorn Acres when we bought Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We had to disassemble it and move it over here. I have the trench dug, I have the conduit, I'm ready to cement in the pole which holds the pull top mounted photovoltaic array, and I will be installing the battery bank and the charge controller an inverter in this shed. And that's a future project. Another future project is I am planning my backyard, and maybe you can spend some time with me on the porch swing and watch grass grow. I'm Jerry Hansen at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. Keep in touch. Thank you. Oh, please comment. I look forward to all your comments. And give me a thumbs up. Thank you.